Chapter 4. Teaching through the Divine Manifestation. Origin of the Revelations. The Word that has always been in Yah speaks to you, the same who was in Hamashiach and whom today you know as the Holy Spirit, because the Word is an expression, a law, a message, a revelation, and wisdom. If you heard the Word through Hamashiach and now you receive it through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, in truth I say, it is the voice of Yah that you have heard, for only one Elohim exists, only one Word, and only one Holy Spirit. Do you know the origin of that light that exists in the Word flowing from the lips of the spokesman? Its origin is in what is good, in divine love, in the universal light that emanates from Yah. It is a ray or flash of light from that luminous all which gives us life. It is part of the infinite force that moves all and under which all vibrates, palpitates, and turns without ceasing. It is that which you call divine iteration. It is the divine love that illuminates and gives life to the spirits. He speaks to you in this instant, the one who has always come to save you, Hamashiach, the divine promise made human as Yahusha in the second era, the divine word made human word, the spirit of love, of light, of wisdom, limited to a ray through his conscience, touches the spirit and the mind of man to teach him to transmit my thoughts. I am Hamashiach, the one who has been persecuted, blasphemed, and converted into a common criminal in this world. I come to you after what you did to me in the second era through Yahusha, to give you one more time proof that I have forgiven you and that I love you. You took me to the cross naked, and thus I return, for I do not hide my spirit and my truth from your eyes behind the garment of hypocrisy or falsity. But in order for you to see me, you must first cleanse your hearts. Today I say to you, here is the Master, the one whom the multitudes name the Rabbi of Galilee. I come to give you the same doctrine, the teaching of love. The banquet to which I invite you is spiritual, as are also the bread and the wine. But today, like yesterday and as always, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Places of the revelations and their recipients. Remember that I am the word of the Father. The divine essence which you receive in this word is the light from that Creator Spirit which has left a part of my spirit in each one of you. Furthermore, on observing the poverty which exists among this multitude that listens to me, and the humility of this house where it has gathered, I am asked in silence, Master, why did you not choose for your manifestation in this time one of those large temples or churches where they might have offered you rich altars and noble ceremonies worthy of you? To those hearts who have such thoughts of their master, I answer, men are not the ones who have brought me this poverty. It is I who have elected for my manifestation the humble dwelling in the poor neighborhood of your city, thus having you understand that it is not the material tribute nor the exterior offering that I come seeking among you. On the contrary, if I have returned, it has been to preach humility one more time, so that through humility you will find spirituality. There are those who do not believe in my presence because they judge the poverty and humility of these places, and the humility of these spokesmen through wisdom, through whom I communicate, but who, so doubt, study the life of Hamashiach. They would see that he never sought pomp, honors, nor riches. These places may be as poor and humble as the stable and straw in which I was born at that time. Do not think that I choose this nation for my new manifestation at the last hour. All had been foreseen throughout eternity. This soil, this race, your spirits have been prepared by me, just as the time of my presence was marked by my will. I choose to begin my manifestations among the most humble, among those who maintain their understanding and their spirit pure. Later, I allowed everyone to come to me because at my table it does not exist any distinctions nor preferences. My word poured out upon this people has been simple and humble, within your reach and your senses, full of clarity, and has been profound for your spirit, because I, even though I am the arcane, always manifest myself and express myself with simplicity and clarity. I am a secret to no one. Secret and mystery are children of your ignorance. The first to listen to me took my doctrine as a tree, cutting the first branches from it to plant them in different places. Some interpreted my teachings well, and others took the wrong path. Small were the numbers that came together in the shade of these humble places, yet when these multiplied, the multitudes grew. I called them to unite in that all would know each other as disciples of a single master, and all would practice the lesson in the same way, so the seed would be sown, not by the free will of the laborers, but by the divine will. Before the spiritual ark of the new covenant, the multitudes promised submission, obedience, and goodwill, but when the hurricanes and whirlwinds blew with force and beat the branches of the tree, there were those who weakened, while others, unmoved, stayed firm to teach the new laborers how to cultivate the soil. There are those who, recognizing the greatness of this revelation, have attempted to penetrate my arcane beyond my wishes, with the aim of possessing wisdom and authority that makes them superior to others, but it has not taken long to find themselves before my justice. Others, not knowing how to find the greatness of this work in its purity and its simplicity, have copied from sects and religions, rites, symbols, and ceremonies, believing that they give solemnity to my manifestation. From the time that this communication began to manifest itself, your spirit has illuminated with my teaching. Even though came the incredulous among those who have cultivated the mind just as the crude and ignorant. So many arguments made to deny this revelation. How many attempts to destroy this word? But nothing has halted the course of my message. On the contrary, the more this work has been opposed, the more the faith of the multitudes has been kindled, and the more time has passed, the greater the numbers of those through whom I transmit my word. What does this mean? That human power shall never be able to prevent the divine power from carrying out its designs. The people, upon congregating in these places, have always done so without fear of the world, always full of confidence in my presence and my protection, and I have proven to them that their faith is based in the truth. A new apostolate arose among those people, formed by simple and humble hearts, full of love and of faith to follow me. There could not be missing among them a new Thomas, needing to see to believe in my presence, a new Peter, believing in me and yet denying me for fear of humanity, and a new Judas Iscariot, to betray me, changing my word and my truth for coins and praise. The multitudes that make up this people continued increasing and branching out throughout the cities, regions, and towns. And from among these people arose apostles of truth and righteousness, selfless laborers full of zeal for the doctrine of the Most High, and clean-hearted prophets who spoke the truth. I have changed everything from my new manifestation, both the places and means of communication, in order to destroy the ignorance, the confusion, and the misinterpretation that has been given to my previous revelation. Just as the sun appears in the east and is seen at its zenith at midday, only later to be seen as it hides itself in the west, so the light of my spirit came from time to time from east to west, so that you do not limit my grandeur and my power to places, to men, or to races. Although only a few have listened to my teachings, it is sufficient because tomorrow they will offer testimony to their brethren. I know that if I were to summon everyone, the majority would not listen because they are too occupied with their daily tasks. They would deny me and prevent men of goodwill from listening to me. In these humble places where I manifest myself, I am allowing the seed of my doctrine to germinate. I have united those with simple hearts into groups. After they are free from their everyday responsibilities, I speak to them of love, of eternal, of spirit, of true human and spiritual values. I have made them perceive life through their conscience and not through their physical senses. I refer to these individuals as my disciples. Since they were poor and not acknowledged by their brethren, they experienced great satisfaction when I summoned them. They resurrected to a new life and rejoiced at my teaching. Since the Most High has given them his revelations and has showed them the path of love, they strongly believe they can help their brethren. Some will reject and ridicule them because they call themselves disciples of Yahusha. But truly I tell you that in spite of that rejection and ridicule, they will continue being my disciples. Humanity is waiting for me to summon it. Although man lacks faith, he is waiting for Hamashiach to tell him, "Arise and walk." There are many on earth who are spiritually dead, blind, ill, and abandoned. Those who suffer physically or spiritually are more sensitive to my presence. Therefore, I will summon them first. Those on earth who are materially rich, powerful, and great believe that they do not need me. What can Hamashiach give them if they have everything? Can he, perhaps, give them spiritual gifts or a place in eternity? They are not interested in those things. That is why during this era I have chose to manifest my doctrine to those who suffer spiritually and physically. I know that those individuals are seeking me and want to find me. It is natural for them to feel my presence when I begin to manifest myself to humanity during this time. The transmission of the divine manifestations. For he who doubts this communication through human understanding, it is as though he deny his superior status among all the creatures, as though he deny his own spirit and does not wish to understand the spiritual and mental level he has reached through endless tests, bitter moments, and struggles. To deny that I communicate through your understanding or your spirit is to deny your very self and place yourself among the lower creatures. Who does not know that man is the child of Yah? Who does not know that within he carries a spirit? Then why do you not think that between the father and children there must be one or more means for communication between them? If I am intelligence, I seek you through your understanding. If I am spirit, I seek you through your spirit. More, how many those who deny my communication understand and accept this truth if they have never wished to look upon me and know me in spirit? In their hearts they gave birth to many mistaken beliefs, such as that of thinking that I am a divine being in human form, and that I must be represented with symbols and images in order to communicate with me through them. Over the course of centuries, humanity has sought me in this way, and they have become accustomed to the muteness of the images and forms before which they pray and offer rites. And it has come to be that in their hearts the idea has formed that none are worthy of looking upon, hearing, or feeling Yah. By saying that I am too exalted to be approached by men, they seek to render me admiring homage, but they are wrong. For he who says that I am too great to pay attention to something so small as man is a fool who is rejecting the most beautiful of that which my spirit has revealed, humility. If you believe in Hamashiach, if you sustain that you are Christians, you must not give sustenance to ideas as absurd as that of believing that you are unworthy that your Elohim approach you. Have you forgotten that precisely this, your Christian faith, is built upon the proof of love, that the word of Yah was made man? What more tangible and human approach could you ask of me? What communication more within reach of sinful and carnal humanity, darkened of spirit and closed to understanding, than that through which I made you hear my divine voice translated into human speech? That was the greatest proof of my love, of the humility and devotion toward men, that I came and sealed with blood, so that you may have eternally before you that none is unworthy of me, because truly it was for those most lost in the mire, in darkness, and in vice that I came to make my word human and to spill the sap of my blood. Why then do those who believe all this reject my presence and my communication? Why then do they try to maintain that this is not possible because Yah is infinite and man is so low, so small, and so unworthy? Truly, I tell you that those who rejects my communication in this time is rejecting my presence in the world in the second era, and rejects also my love and my humility. You, sinners, it is natural that in your sin you feel distanced from me. But I, in turn, feel that the more errors you commit, the more you stay in your spirit, the more I need to come to you, to give you light, to offer you my hand, and to heal and save you. I knew that when I returned to communicate with my children, many would reject me, and since that time I have been announcing my return. But at the same time, I made you understand that my presence would be in spirit. But if you should doubt, go to the testament of those 4 disciples who in the Gospels inscribed my word. Here you have me in the spirit, and from the luminous cloud sending to you my word, making it human through these my spokesmen, as a preparatory lesson for that communication to which all of you must come, the communication from my spirit to yours. I have manifested my divine thoughts through human spokesmen. They have translated my thoughts into human words and phrases to create a spiritual doctrine filled with revelations and perfect teachings. This is the promised comforter. This is that spirit of truth that was announced as coming to tell you everything. The preparation is about to begin. The time is coming when you will need guidance from those who are spiritually strong. Those beings with noble and simple hearts will use their wisdom and charity to guide you. My teaching comes to give you light to understanding, but do not be astonished at the form of my coming among you in this time, nor be confused, nor treated as common. When my divine light comes to the understanding of the one who serves me as speaker, it is in the form of vibrations that are translated to the words of wisdom and love. How many steps my spirit must descend to reach you in this form? And still I have had to send to you my spiritual world so that you may be given a full explanation of my teachings. I communicate through the human spokesman because the brain is the perfect intellect made by the Creator, so that by it the conscience, which is the divine light of the spirit, manifests itself. This intellect is an example that you can never equal with your science. I may take its form and construction as a prototype for your constructions, but you will never reach the perfection obtained by the works of your Father. Why do you doubt that I can use that which I have formed? In all times, my love as the master has depended on the lesson that men needed, and I have always come to them to speak as befitted their spiritual level and their mental development. I have come to you because I have seen that the human word and the doctrines that you have created do not calm the burning thirst of your spirits, thirst for light, thirst for truth, for eternity, and for love. It is therefore that I have presented myself before you, serving myself with men who were humble, unlearned, and of rough understanding, and making them enter the ecstasy of the mind and of the spirit, so that from their mouths might spring the message of the third era. And so, in order to be worthy of receiving and transmitting my divine thoughts, they had to struggle against both materialism and the temptations of the world, renouncing in this way their own personality and castigating their vanity. They have made a total commitment of their beings during the moments when they lend their understanding to the divine inspiration, permitting their lips to bring forth words full of wisdom, tenderness, justice, comfort, and peace. Always there will be those who are not able to understand how it is that without having my spirit descend to these minds, by merely illuminating them with a ray of my light, they can express such knowledge in their speech and pour forth such essence upon the spirits of the multitudes, to which I tell you that not even the sun needs to come to the earth to illuminate it, being sufficient the light that from the distance is sent to your planet to bathe it in clarity, heat, and life. Just so, the Spirit of the Father, like a sun of infinite power, illuminates all and gives life by means of the light, and it sends to all its creatures, spiritual as well as material. Understand then that where there is my light, there too my spirit is present. The human speaker receives a spark of divine enlightenment when I manifest myself to give you my teaching. Who among all of the spokesmen could receive the entire essence of the divine word? No one can. Truly I tell you that you do not yet know the divine word. The divine word is life, love, and the word of Yah. Although the human speaker is only able to receive and transmit an atom of it, you can still discover the absolute, the infinite, and the eternal in the essence of these teachings. To teach you about me, I can do it through my great deeds or through small and limited manifestations. All things reflect my presence, for I am present everywhere. All things in the universe were created perfectly, from the smallest known creation to the largest one. To discover that perfection, man only needs to carefully observe, meditate, and study. My word did not come again to be made flesh. In this time I am in the cloud, symbol of the beyond, from where springs forth my ray that illuminates the mind of the spokesman. It has pleased me to communicate with men, and my determination is perfect. I know man because I created him. I may serve myself through him, for it was for that he was made, and I may show my glory through his conduct, for I created him to be glorified in him. Man, there is my image, for he is intelligence, life, conscience, and will. Because he possesses something of each of my attributes, and his spirit belongs to eternity. Many times you are smaller than you would have thought, and other times you are greater than you can imagine. If you meditate a little and study the scripture, you will see how, through all the prophets, only one essence was given to man in his word. They gave to mankind admonishments, revelations, and messages without the errors of the materialized cult professed by the people of those times. Teaching obedience to the law and to the word of Yah, they helped humanity to put themselves in contact with the Heavenly Father. People, do you not find a great similarity between those prophets and these spokesmen through whom I am speaking now? Also on the lips of these do I put the essence of my law, and so does my inspiration come to you through the words. And from them vibrantly surges the teaching that invites the multitudes to seek the Most High by the purest means. They speak without fear that among the multitudes that hear them there are scrutinizers or fanatics. They fulfill their mission by giving themselves in service to the Father, so that through their conduit he speaks to humanity and gives them these lessons that open new paths of light to men. People, not only is there a great similarity between those prophets and these spokesmen, but in fact there is a perfect connection between them. Those proclaim these, and what these predicted long ago, these servants now behold. Not all of my spokesmen have known or wished to make themselves available to serve me, and many times I had to send my light over their impure understanding occupied in the superfluous, and not the sinful, if not the sinful. They in their era have borne my justice, for their minds have been deprived of all inspiration, and their lips of all eloquence in expressing the divine message. In these cases, the multitude has closed their ears to those pure manifestations, but have opened their spirits to feel my presence in it and to receive my essence. The people sustained themselves at the moment with the essence that my charity sent them. The pedestal, however, retained a message that did not emerge from its lips, forcing the multitude to communicate with their master spirit to spirit, when they were not yet prepared to receive inspiration in that form. The form of the manifestations. The lesson of the Master begins always in the same way, for it contains the same love. It begins in love and ends in charity, two words within which all my teachings are enclosed. These elevated sentiments are those that give strength to the spirit to reach the regions of light and truth. You may say that the outer form of the language in which I spoke in the second era and that which I use now are different. And in part you are right, for Yahusha spoke in that time in the terms and customs of the towns in which he lived, as today I do according to the mentality of those who hear my word. But the essence that flows from that word is the same. It is one and inalterable. This, however, has been unnoticed by those whose hearts are hardened and whose minds are closed. O unbelievers, come to hear me often. My word will defeat your doubt. If to you the form of my word seems not to be the same as it was in that time, I tell you not to halt before the form, the exterior, but rather seek for the meaning which is the same. The essence, the sense, is always one, for the divine is eternal and immutable. But the form in which the revelation comes to you, or through which I give you to understand one more part of the truth, is presented always according to the capacity or development that you have reached. The presence of beings from beyond during the teachings of Hamashiach. Truly I tell you that in the moments when my word vibrates through the understanding of humankind, thousands and thousands of disembodied beings are here witnessing my manifestation and hearing my voice. The number of them is always greater than those present in material form. Like you, they are slowly coming out of the darkness to enter into the kingdom of the light. This, my word, you hear on the earth by means of human understanding, on the level above yours. Other spiritual dwellers are hearing it as well, just as on other, higher levels the spirits that dwell therein are listening to it as well. For this concert that the Father in this third era holds with the spirits is universal. I have said to you, my ray is universal. My word and my essence are also universal, and on the highest level reached by the spirits, there I am heard. You hear me now in this communication in the most imperfect form, which is through man. It is for that reason that I am preparing you for greater communications, and so that when you enter in spirit, fully leaving this earth, we may then meet upon a new level to hear the concert that the Father carries on with your spirit. Today, you are of matter, remaking your heart and spirit with this word, and those beings that belong to you on earth, those whom you call still father, husband, wife, brother, son, relative, or friend, are on other levels hearing the same word. But for them, the meaning, the essence, is different. Even when you experience the same pleasure, the same recreation, the same breath, the same bread. I send a ray of my light to each world in the universe. That ray of light reaches this world in the form of human words, whereas it reaches other worlds through inspiration. All spirits will become united in the light of the divine ray. That light will guide all spirits toward the kingdom that has been promised to all who are a spiritual particle of my divinity. Time limitation of the manifestations. My kingdom descends upon suffering mankind, and my word is sounded through the chosen of this time, so that those who hear me become the consolation of humanity. In all times I have had intermediaries between men and my divinity. It has been the meek and humble of heart who I have had to serve me. I am preparing the new messengers of my teachings so that this good news may be the awakening to the spiritual life of men. How many of those who are enabled to carry out a noble spiritual mission are sleeping, spread throughout the world? They shall awaken, and their spiritual advancement will be manifest upon their transforming themselves into beings useful to their fellows by the nobility of their sentiments. They shall be humble and never boast of superiority. My doctrine needs to be pure when it reaches humanity, so that man will arise to fulfill my law and embrace the cross of his salvation. I will fulfill the promise that I made to mankind, for my promises are always fulfilled. I will send humanity these teachings through my disciples, which will help man prepare himself to communicate joyfully with me from spirit to spirit, because after 1950, I will no longer manifest myself through human spokesmen. My peace be with you.